Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the Speak Your Mind Show special edition holiday special um, on a Thursday. You know, the show is usually aired on Wednesday nights, and I got a really special guest tonight. Goes by the name of Bella Levy. She's great. She's doing a lot of instrumental things. Um, Not only that, she's very talented actress, and you know, wait till you hear what's going on in her world and how excited I am to be the one to share her with this particular audience. And this is going to be great. Couple things pre-show here I want to do is get everything set up. Got to tag her, get ready. It's been a long day. I already know I've spoken with her. She's had a long day, but she was able to take out the time to be here for this show, and I'm very grateful. Um, Again, this is Miss Bella Levy. About to get her tagged right now, so hang in there. All right, all right. She is tagged, and you all know how I like to do it. This is the Speak Your Mind show again, special edition, Thursday night showing live. Please feel free to join the feed. Um, Ask Miss Levy questions about stuff that's going on because you're about to be very, very intrigued with what she's got going on in her world. Okay. And you know how I like to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's begin. Once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us this Thursday night. Um, I know it's back to back. I keep hitting everybody with some kind of show, some kind of broadcast. It's just what I do. I enjoy doing it. I think it's necessary. I'm always trying to give you a little bit of, I don't know, something of some kind of subject matter that maybe you can relate to and might want to interact with. And tonight's guest, I believe I smacked it out the park with in Bella Levy. So I'm going to not mess around anymore and just bring her in and wait for me to unmute you there. Hello, how you doing this
Hi,
evening?
hi. Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes, yes. I know you've been busy. I think the last time we spoke, you were just land. Well, there were all kinds of stuff. We were talking before you got on the flight to Texas. Then
Oh my
you were
God.
getting ready to get off the plane in Texas, and you were still trying to audition for production. Mind you, you're already in a production with the same
Mhm.
production company. Big shouts out to Jordan Productions, Linnea and Jason Jordan, and that family. And but so how do you stay so busy? How do you even have the energy and the drive to do what you do?
I wish I could tell you there's an easy formula, but when you have passion in your heart, that fuels you. And I always tell everybody that my paycheck of the heart is to help humanity. And I just like to help people as best that I can. And that's why you see here, oop, I'm pointing to it the right way. Sorry, backwards. So healthcare for me was a natural fit, and I work nights at the hospital doing radiology. Just love helping people. So, the pandemic kind of struck all of us a little bit from the left because we weren't expecting any of this. But me and the amazing staff at the hospital, the doctors, the nurses, everybody has just kind of rolled their shoulders up, and we just do it. Sorry, that was a side note, but I love what I do.
Sure.
Apart from, helping people in the medical field, I fell in love with the art of acting. I fell in love with the industry. I just fell in love with like, the only way I can explain it is if you're a young lady and you go into the store and you see a pair of shoes and you're like, oh my God, I gotta have it.
Hmm.
So when I fell into this industry, I fell in love and I was hooked. I caught the bug, and anything that has to do with that, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, but it's got to also take away from that time with family.
Mm.
Unless you're bringing them along on your ventures, and by the way, I'm being a little bit rhetorical here because I do know some things, and you explained that whole situation with that venture to Texas and how it kind of worked out because there was people there, but
Right.
I don't want to steal the thunder, but what's that like? Just running around across the United States the way you do, and how often is it that you're able to bring family along with you?
This last trip to Texas, I took my daughter with me. And the only reason this is the first trip that any of my children have ever been with me, only because the subject matter I discuss, I think, is more of a mature uh, nature. My daughter's best friend, literally, our kitchens, our windows faced each other. So her family moved to Texas. So when I found out that I had this opportunity here, I said, ask her where they live. And it turned out that they lived 20 minutes outside. They lived in a town called McKinney, which is 20 minutes outside of where I was going to be. So I just said, hey, listen, call your friend up. She went on the plane with me. I dropped her off at the airport. I mean, we landed at the airport. I dropped her off at her friend's house. I went to the hotel and I got ready for the event, did the event, and then her mom dropped her off Sunday morning, like at, I don't know, 4 a.m. back to the hotel with me, and then we flew back home. So I was able to make my daughter happy, and that
True.
that was important to me.
Yeah, and it's quite impressive. I don't do the traveling quite like that anymore. I did that a lot when I was younger. People know my story. Some people do. Father in the service, travel the world. Wherever he went, I went. So I don't take my family with me anywhere that I go.
Right.
Although be it I don't hop on planes to have to go to Texas or anywhere. Most of those places I drive anymore. So it's is there a disconnect with family when you do all these things, because I want to get into a lot more about what your foundation is all about and all that, and what does that require of your personal time, and have your family been included in that as far as participants, or is this a venture that you kind of took on yourself? You know what I mean?
Well, because the nature of what I talk about, it's a very, very adult theme. I want my children are 15 and 13. I still want them to uh, feel like a normal 15 and 13-year-old.
Kids,
Right.
have a childhood, right?
Correct. So like I said, my daughter went with me, but she didn't go to my event. She just went and stayed with her friend. Of course, they hear about what I do because I prepare and uh, sometimes I'll, practice a lecture in a mirror just so I know what I look like. And, sometimes they ask questions, sometimes they don't. My daughter just says, "Oh, mom does the blue ribbon." But as far as more than that, I don't think she really gets it. What is it about? And that's okay too. But honestly, as a safety measure, whenever I go to events, I do not take my children with me,
Hmm.
just for obvious reasons.
Well, the crazy thing is, even pre-show stuff. Like I didn't ask you that. I was, I'm always, because this is the Speak Your Mind show. I'm always leaving something in the bag, kind of just to present to you in real time. And you and I will probably talk about this after the show, but I like to be able to see really what's happening with people. I've seen you come out to audition. You're going to be part of a production called Running Lost, in which you played the mom. So, and thank you for that. Um, so you're splitting your time
Mm-hmm.
between family, between
Mm-hmm.
your foundation,
Mm-hmm.
and between being an actress. And before we really get into that anymore, what else are you doing that I don't know? I mean, is that enough for you, or is there still something else you're still doing
Well,
that
I work nights.
occupies your time?
I work nights at the hospital because, the hospital has to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
And I chose to work nights so during the day I can focus on things that I need to get done. I can focus what the kids need to get done. Um, and I guess it's just maybe just divine help that things just fall into place. I am a firm believer, and I say this all the time, the universe brings people of purpose together, period. And
Mhm.
I just put something in the universe and to say, this is what I want. And then all of a sudden, within a couple, 2, 3 days, the pieces come together and what I wanted manifested itself. So I work nights at the hospital. When I get home, I try to take a little nap because I am human.
Sure.
And then I start working on the foundation or try to memorize lines. Just it's a matter of balance. It's just balance. And when I get involved with my foundation or I get involved with a new project, I'm so passionate about it that sometimes I'll think and I'll sit there and I'm like, wow, I haven't eaten since this morning. Maybe I should go eat now because I just forget. I just get so focused on what I'm doing that I just forget other stuff. But, I have alarms all over the place set to do this. This is the time to do that. This is the time to do this. And it just works. It just works. There's a lot of projects I've had to turn down only because it's just going to be too much. For example, tomorrow I'm so happy. I'm hosting an event at an art gallery, so I'm very excited about that. It's going to be
Yeah.
in Rockville. Please forgive me what the name is, but once we get off the broadcast, I'll text it in.
Hmm.
And very happy to be able to do that. And anytime that there's a platform given to me,
Hmm.
that's my foundation and what I want to do, I am more than happy to go there and talk about my message.
Yeah, you have a really strong message, and we might as well go ahead and take it there. Your foundation is built around, which is awesome. Yep,
There
there it is, right there. Perfect setup there. BellaLevy.org, right? And am I saying your last name right? It's Levy, right? Not Levi. Okay.
You're actually one of the few people that does say it right.
Okay. I know a lot of people want to say Levi,
They
so I, yeah,
called everything except
yeah.
that.
So, please explain to the audience how you could get involved in a program dedicated to, and I'm not, and you got to help me out here.
Okay.
What are you guys actually doing as a program to stop this human trafficking? And that's what you all are doing to
Right.
prevent human trafficking. What are you doing to prevent this, and how does your foundation help?
Okay. So my foundation is the Bella Levy Foundation. I wanted to create something that lives way after I'm gone. I wanted to create something that lives on and on and on, that maybe my children or grandchildren can drive by a building and see my name on it and say, my grandma, as crazy as she was, old marbles rolling around in her head, but this is what she wanted to do. I want to leave a legacy of kindness and compassion. And I created, oh, hi, Bobby. And I a Blue Ribbon Project, and it focuses on awareness, education, and prevention methods against human trafficking. And so far this year, since the summer, I have traveled to Florida twice, California twice, Texas once, Las Vegas, Jersey a couple times, and just go to venues. People find out what I'm doing, they invite me, or I look into an event and I reach out to them and say I would like to participate. And I come out there and I have to say that the community has been so supportive. Um, I had an event here in the summertime at the Maryland Yacht Club. That was a really, really good event. A couple of my friends drove down, and I was very happy that they came in and supported me. Um, just, I think our society is so much, we're removed from each other. And I think that we're so desensitized. Let me give an example that there's something going on, there's an argument, or you see there's an uncomfortable situation. I feel that somebody's going to take a phone and record that situation instead of taking the phone and contacting the authorities. And that's sad. And
Yeah.
I know it happens every day. And, you know, we see it on social media, on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. Somebody posted a video of, maybe somebody having a bad day on a metro or argument or over a fast food place. And, that's unfortunate. We shouldn't, I cringe when I see stuff like that because, you're basically taking that person's low point and you're blasting it all over social media. I think there's a better way to use a device to maybe contact the authorities and be like, um, can you please send a unit down here? There seems to be some uneasy situation. When I give my lectures, I tell them, I said, I'm going to tell you some things and it's going to make you uncomfortable, but I want you to be uncomfortable. I want you to really understand the severity of it. I do a demonstration without fail. I always go to a parent and I say, there's security everywhere around. I promise you your child is safe. But I just want to give a demonstration. And they're like, sure. And I take blue because everything I do is blue. Blue is
Mm.
the official color of human trafficking. And
Okay.
the ribbon stands for awareness. And I take blue paint and I spray the grass, not the concrete because I'm not about that life. Just the
Hmm.
grass because
Sure.
that's the way. And I tell them, I said, this blue line signifies that proverbial white van. And he said, oh, hi, Michael.
Hmm.
And
What's up, brother?
every parent, every mother will say, that's not my baby. That's not going to happen. I said, okay. I said, I can guarantee you that child will cross that line in under 2 minutes. Now it's under 1 minute.
Hmm.
Start speaking. And I talk to the child without hesitation. They just walk with me. And the mom was like, and then the mom was like, oh my God. I said, no, 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 no. I said, we are trying. We have expectations of our children of a life that we had. They
Hmm.
will never understand that life because this is a new generation. They
It's not.
grow up in a digital world. The ethics, the values have been, I feel, my opinion, have been watered down through the generations.
Hmm.
I always tell myself, I'm old school. I believe in this and I believe in that. And I think that, you know, the young generation we have, we can learn so much from them. Like they're so tech savvy and they're just so
Hmm.
resourceful. But I believe that they could also learn a lot from us too.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it should be.
Mhm,
The process was for them to learn from us,
mhm,
but it's in that cycle of babies having babies, as they proverbially said. Um,
mhm,
we've narrowed the line. We've brought ourselves too close to trying to be friends and understand everything so much, and kind of backed off of the true parenting, the part of parenting where you had to put your foot down and say no. We society started making us as parents start to feel like maybe we were being too harsh and not understanding it and accepting enough. So that's what has happened. It's narrowed the line between what it is to be a parent and what it is to be a friend, and they've
right.
put us in a conundrum to where what are you supposed to do? How do you discipline your child the right way according to society's structure or ideal of this new era of tech savvy kids and
Mhm,
um, just this world of the internet and new new revelations of what we should be expecting within the next generation or so. So that's what's happened to us, and it's exactly what you're saying. So
Right.
I mean, I wanted to ask you, as you've traveled around, are you feeling the support from others that want to join the cause, or does it feel? And to be honest, obviously, I want you to be 100% honest with me. Are you feeling like they are there to support you, or do you feel like they feel more sympathy for your cause? And does it matter whether they feel that or not? It does it kind of still you're going to be able to reel that in anyway, right? That's a good thing to feel because you want them to understand that this is something that needs to be acknowledged, right?
Hmm. So when I first embarked on this journey, some of my friends, they're like, Bella, we're your friends. We're going to support you. But when they come to my lecture, they come to my events and they listen and they're like, oh my God, I had no idea. And then they're like, whatever you need, I got you. And then the next time they bring a couple more friends, they're like, you got to listen to this woman talk. I'm like, I'm
Mm.
5 foot fabulous, but boy, when I bring it on, I bring it on. And because it's just passionate and what I talk about. And I try to, hold on, what did he say?
I know Bobby's saying he said he's a dad. I'm sorry. Bobby's good. He pays attention. He's actually watching the show back to back. So he says he's a dad of 3 girls. We had code words. One day he said he was tied up in court and couldn't get to the bus stop and asked the
Yep.
local police to pick them up. The local
Hmm.
asked the local police to pick them up. They would not even get into the car with the police officer, didn't know the code because the police officer didn't know the code word.
I
That's great, Bobby. Thank you for
be
that.
for being an amazing parent. Yes.
Hmm.
And in some of the lectures that I do, I tell the parents that there's 3 things they need to know. A, they need to know a code word.
Hmm.
B, they need to know a gesture that only you and your child know. And C, they need to know a facial expression. And if the person that's coming to pick you up cannot produce all 3 like that on the dime, run.
Yeah.
Just don't even think anything of it. Um, the kids have the iPhones. I would show mine, but I'm using it. But if being honest, but if you
Yeah.
hit the home button and the other button at the same time, an alarm goes off. SOS code goes off.
Oh yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
And the watches, mine's on the charger. Sorry, watches are the same thing. Um, so when people, to answer to your question, when people used to come out, they're like, Bella's my girl. I'm going to come out. She's always doing something positive. And then when they really see it, they're like, how can I help you? Let me come volunteer at your next event. Let me do this. Let me do that. And then,
Mhm.
I started growing from doing a lecture in front of 3 people and some teddy bears, if they count. Maybe they don't, but now there's big, like I get a stage and, I get on stage and, um, it's normal to have nerves, but I think
Sure.
that,
Sure.
um, the day that you stop having nerves, you really have to reevaluate what you're doing because every single time I have a presentation, every single time I have to go somewhere, I always get a little nerves and I close my eyes and I'm just like, okay, I know I'm doing your work. Just give me the strength to get through it. And that's it. And then I just feel like this energy and I feel like I'm in the right place. I feel like I'm doing everything right. How this whole thing started was about 2.5 years ago. I had a trip to Israel. I don't know if you've ever been. I
Yeah.
encourage every person on the planet to go. Israel has the most energy I've ever had. It doesn't matter what religion you believe in. Everybody's different. I'm more spiritual than I'm religious, and I'm not going to put religion on anybody. You know, it's just all about creation.
Hmm.
And I put my hand on the Western Wall. They call it the Kotel. And all of a sudden, it's like someone took a lawnmower and put a path in front of me. And I just knew what I had to do. I just said, okay, I know what I have to do. I came back home and I opened up Facebook because, there's a time difference. I think it was like 8-hour time
Yeah.
difference. What do you do? I don't want to wake the kids up. So I get on Facebook like a zombie-ac and this ad
It's like
came
we all do.
right. So this ad came up on Facebook to compete for Miss DC. And I'm like, I could do that. Never been in a pageant a day in my life, but I felt empowered because it's a platform to make my voice heard. And I didn't know what I was going to do, but I believe coming from this trip of sisterhood, my platform was woman empowerment.
Hmm.
So I was excited. I got on board. I got a chance to meet my other sister queens. That's what we all called each other. And it was going to be at the Kennedy Center. And I've never been to the Kennedy Center my whole life. So the day that we went there for our walkthrough, I literally was like you see the kids in Charlie Wonka Chocolate Factory.
The Willy Wonka chocolate
Right,
factory.
right,
Yeah.
right. So I had one of my girls next to me. She was one of my sister queens, and
Mhm.
do I look really strange? And she's like, no. I said, do I look like I've never been here before? And she's like, yeah. And I said, well, I've never been here before. This is so exciting. I had the red carpet and everything. I was like, woo.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. I was so happy. 2 weeks later, COVID hit. So,
Oh my goodness. Threw a whole damper on the whole operation.
so I've never been in a pageant a day in my life. I didn't know what was expected. Only thing I saw was online how pageants work.
Hmm.
Our pageant was done on a Zoom call. If you could imagine
Oh
putting
my gosh.
production of that caliber, I reached out to a really good girlfriend of mine who owns a salon not too far from where I work,
Hmm.
where I live. She shut her whole salon down. She bought me black curtains and a red carpet. She wanted me to feel like I was at the Kennedy Center.
Wow.
And we had the Zoom call, and I was doing the whole pageant there. The good thing about being in the salon is her assistant was there trying to fix my hair. And I'm like, yes. And it was hot. It was hot. It was like June or July. It was just like, I'm dying.
Right.
So I didn't make it into the top four. And
The
I
images behind you, is that from that pageant? The
didn't know.
one with you? Okay, I was just curious. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that it looks like pageant like
Yeah, these
pictures.
are my
The one.
headshots. These are for Maryland, which I have to give my awesome photographer a shout out. Kiati made all this look like that. So Kiati is shout out. I
Okay.
mean, you talk about how crazy things happen, and I'll tell you how I ran into him. But oh, so we do
Sorry, I
that's
interrupted you, but carry on. Sorry.
right. It's just normal dialogue. Um, so I didn't win, and I'm standing there, and they're like, "Well, you could turn the Zoom off." And I said, "Turning the Zoom off is the same as like walking off stage, and that's poor sportsmanship." So I stood there and I clapped for the other girls, and then of course when they said thank you, good night, of course, of
You
course,
had to do that.
it's true. I
Yeah,
was disappointed, but I was so proud of myself that never being in a pageant, I wanted to enter a pageant because I wanted to make a difference.
right.
Oh, hi. Yeah, we were just talking about you.
Yeah, we were. I was wondering when she would chime in. I knew it wouldn't be too long.
Right.
These things are broadcasted. It's coming up on timelines. You know, Derek Stroman's live on
Hmm.
something. So I appreciate Linnea, and she's right. We were just talking about
Hmm.
you and Jason and everything we got going on and running lost, and the fact that Bella wanted to audition for Everything Matters
Did so
on
hard.
a flight to Texas. It was crazy. I mean, you were touching down, talking about I just landed. I'm almost ready. I mean, like, who do you see? Linnea's laughing. She knows how I am, but who does that?
Well, somebody who's
Who
been
does that? Like, who does that? Nobody does that. Oh, I'm just getting off the plane right now. Uh, do I still have time? Come on, like,
I had this
you
whole thing
kidding
planned
me?
to go get luggage, get my rental car, and I was gonna do everything in the car. Where I said, "Okay, I'm ready," and then you were like, "We logged off," and I was like,
Yeah, we like. What were you thinking? Like, you're supposed to.
because I really
You're
wanted to.
supposed to get. We get that. You,
It.
I love it, but that's what we like to see. And Lene knows what I'm talking about. Hold on, she's she's talking. Hold on. Um, it's okay. We have other projects coming up. So
And
it's
I,
just that dedication we appreciate. That's all. That's all. I'm laughing about it, but it's admirable. You know.
right.
Yeah.
Well, because if you want something, you go after it.
Right.
And I think we live in an age and a time where people don't value time anymore. And I think that we live in an age and a time where people's passion for whatever is fizzled out. And like you ask somebody how you doing, they're like, all right, well, all right. I
Yeah.
mean, like, if you're
Yeah.
doing good, just say I'm having a great day. But if somebody says I'm all right, that's their equivalency of having I'm having a great day. So, anyways, I regress. Hi, Linnea. So I call that the best worst day of my life because that's the day I got discovered. There was a producer watching the Zoom
Mhm.
and sent me a message on Facebook saying, "Hey, Queen, you ever thought about acting?" And I'm like, "I just lost the pageant."
Now's not the time. Now's not the time.
Right. I'm like, I'm in my feelings. You need to back
Yeah.
up.
Right. Sure.
I sat there for 3 days and I went to work at night at the hospital. I'm like, let me respond to this lady. And I did. And we met up and she gave me some papers to look at. And I'm like, what is this? She was like, it's a script. And I'm like, what does the dot mean? She's like, it means this. And I said, okay. So I started reading it. She goes, what do you think? I said, well, what do you think? She goes, you're good. And I said, well, if you think I'm good, then I'll try. And went on set and I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. And I'm like, oh my God, I like this. And then later on, when the Maryland pageant hit, I still continued doing the movies and doing the projects. And actually I did a project with Necropolis.
Yeah.
So let me tell you something. Anybody that knows me knows I do not wear jeans and I do not wear a flannel shirt. I had to go to Walmart and get a flannel shirt because they told me
I
I had to
can't
do
see
that.
you in that. I
Let me
can't see
tell you
you in
something.
that.
I showed up on set, and then the sticker that when you buy the jeans was
It
still
was still on there.
yeah, and then
The long one along the side, like the one with the shoulder the size.
yes. So I went on set because I think I was a lurker and I had to run in
Yeah, yeah,
woods and stuff. And they're like, "Wait a minute, come back!" And I'm like, "I'm freezing, I'm freezing." They're like, "You can't
yeah.
go there," and I'm like, "Why not?" And
Yeah, I
they're
was a lurker too, you know.
like,
And shouts out to the real brothers and everybody
"Oh my!"
over there.
And they were so nice. Like when I left, they said, you make sure, I think it was Jay, he said, you text, or Eric, I think it was Eric. He said, you text us to make sure you got home. We want to make sure you got home okay. See, anybody that knows me knows I am a professional passenger. I get lost like that. So you ask me why I fly? Because I don't have to drive. So I'd
Yeah.
rather fly because then I know I'm going to get to where I need to get to. I'm sorry, where was I?
Nah, it's all good. I mean, you kind of segued there yourself. I was going
Mhm.
to ask you about, how you got involved. It's weird how you just went there. You kind of, like stole one of my questions from
I'm
me, but it's
sorry.
okay.
I'll give it back
But
to you.
no, it's all good because it's, again, I was going there anyway about what got you interested in being an actress. And you said it of one of the hardest times in your life. Somebody came to you with the proposition like, "Hey, you would you consider that? You think about doing that? Maybe it's something for you." And you haven't looked back since. It seems like so. What talk about some of the you mentioned Necropolis with the Real Brothers and everything. What other productions have you been a part of?
I have to say that the industry has been a lifesaver to me. Battling the pandemic, it affects you, but
True.
have an outlet. The gyms were closed, everything is closed. You got nothing except table reads. And I looked forward to those things.
Yeah.
So the fact that the industry gave me a healthy outlet to pretend to be somewhere else in my life, and I didn't have to face the stuff that I had to face at the hospital, was like the biggest gift I could have ever gotten.
Hmm.
So thank you for the gods of the arts for
Yeah.
being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Um, I did Necropolis. I did uh, Salon Shenanigans. It was hysterical. It was based in a barbershop, and um, and my character was very unique. And her name was Gigi. She wanted to come into a salon, but had zero talent as a stylist. But she had this tenacity that she knew she was just gonna do somebody's hair, and she can't. But her personality was a little bit larger than life, and uh, they knew that they kind of customed the role for me because I came in and I had my little tiara on, and they said, "Well, who does she think she is, Miss America?" And I said, "Not yet," because at that time I was competing for Maryland, and I'm so fortunate, so lucky to run into such amazing people. Um, just along my path. And like I spoke to you earlier, that the universe brings people of purpose together. And I think you're on the right path when things happen so effortlessly.
Yes.
Because sometimes people spend a lifetime trying to get into here or getting into there. But then when you just wake up and you just walk into a situation and somebody says, "Hey, we need you to do this," that is like an affirmation of, okay, I'm on the right way.
Yes. Yes.
When I
It's
competed for Maryland,
it,
I first
it's a
run.
path. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said
I
when I
agree
competed
with you.
for Maryland, I got first runner up.
Did you really? I mean, so
I did.
that's. I mean,
Yes.
other than winning, that's right there. That's right
Mm-hmm.
there. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's why it was so disappointing. I guess you kind of don't look at it like how far you got when you're in that situation because I think when you get that close, right, you kind of like the end game is just to win it all, right? So
Right.
it's I guess there's no avoiding the deflation, the
Mm-hmm.
disappointment. What happens in your head is it's like, what did I do? What was I wasn't perfect. What's my flaw? What's wrong? I mean, is it hard? Like it's got to be hard. You know, it's like, oh my God, what? Oh, I need to work on this. I need to work on that. And it's like you said, when you came out to audition, you came. I don't know if you say dressed to the nines for women per se, but you were sharp. Linnea and I were talking about it. You don't play. You came. You was sharp. Everything was buttoned. It was tight. You looked like you was getting ready to go to a show or
Yeah.
something. We were like, we
I'm
was
just
like,
passionate for it. I
we
just like
was
that.
like, dang, you know.
Well, you know, so
She agrees. She agrees. We were talking about it. You know, we're like. So for you to be dressed down in some jeans and in a flannel, that must have been quite
it
interesting.
was difficult. I was traumatized, but I gave it to my daughter,
Uh,
and it worked out.
that's funny. That's
But
funny.
you asked me about what happens when you don't win. Well,
Yes,
it
yes.
it hurts. It's like, but you know how we all hear the phrase, "It's the journey rather than the destination,"
Yeah.
but you really don't understand that
No,
unless you go
not
through
while you're going through it. Well, yeah,
it.
but you know, I mean,
And then
come
I
on.
looked where I was a year ago and where I am now. And I'm like, wow, if you would have told me a year ago I would be where I am now, I would have probably laughed you off the planet. And like, me, please.
No
But
way.
it's the journey, not the destination. I had a teacher when I was doing my residency, and he used to say, there is no elevator to the mountain of success. You got to climb the mountain. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this old man just, he's probably off his meds. But when you get a little bit older, you realize how true that really is. Going through the process, learning about myself, learning about the process, learning about other people.
Hmm.
Um, People say, "Would you do the pageant again?" Well, I'm competitive naturally. I'm very competitive. I guess the fact that I was texting you on a plane in Texas.
I still don't believe it. We were dealing with this real time, Lynette and I was just like, we were excuse me, the auditions were live. I mean, well, you know, it's live at the moment. It's not,
Right.
nobody else was seeing it except who was in the feed,
Right.
you know, but this
I
is
was
live. And I keep like, I'm like, you're sending me these messages and I'm just like,
I didn't have to
I'm,
get the feed. I was like, no.
huh?
I was like, can somebody go tell the
I
pilot
know you're like freaking out.
I was because I wanted to be there.
I, you know, we talk about this a lot and she knows what I'm talking about. I don't, that dedication is uncanny. You don't see that often. I'm going to be frank with you. I don't think I could do that. I would be you know, the plane ride is exhausting, period. You're on there, you're tight, you're looking around, you want to land safely. If you're, paranoid, you're like, please just land, please God, just make it. I just want to land on the ground. That would be the stuff that you're thinking. Oh, you ain't worried about the flight. Everything's gonna be
Oh,
fine. Universe got you. I don't, I'm just trying to hurry up. I'm surprised you didn't go up to the cabin and be like, "Yo, how much more time we got? I got an audition that I'm trying to." I mean, you were like freaking out. I could tell because we were getting the messages. I'm telling Lene, I'm like, it's Bella again. Hold on, and I'm trying to like respond in a timely manner so you don't think that I'm like not ignoring you, but like not interested in your comments. And but we were in the middle of auditions. I'm like,
no.
it's just
But
like, what are you doing? But it was it made us feel like great, and I know it did it for Linnea because she's like, wow, she's really serious, and this is a true, honest to goodness story. Like this is not, I'm not even exaggerating. You know, because there was a few parties there, and you were one of them. Oh my goodness! And by the way, and before you even go on, it's been a while since I've seen Buzzachino. So I simulcast to YouTube as well as Facebook. Want to give a shout out to him. I didn't even get a chance to read what he's saying here. I want to read it. I'm pretty sure this guy's. I forget where he's streamed. You know where his this stream is reaching him from where he's at. Okay,
mhm.
I think I'm saying that right. But I do want to acknowledge that he's here. And I think it says I am but human. I will make mistakes, but I will admit it. I will not be fake. I won't let my ego pass that buck on. I will be honest and then right the wrong. And you know when I was first introduced to this gentleman, I believe he came in with inspirational words and just like what you're doing in your motivational speeches and things of that nature. Sometimes a good inspirational word can really change your day, change your attitude, make you feel good about who you are and what you're doing in life and how to proceed forward in life because that's what it's about, life, right? And how you execute your version of it because everybody seems to think that we're trying to figure it out, right? Like what am I here for? What is my goals? What should I be doing? What direction should I head in? People like you, I'll throw myself in there because I'm figuring it out too
We
because
all are.
we know what sometimes you know what you want, you shoot for it. You we kind of figured out if you help others, right? Like I don't know, like pay it forward, I guess. But we have all these quotes and all these sayings, but at the end of the day, like it's just I don't know. You gotta just try to do something encouraging, right? I
Right.
mean, but what? Who does that work for? And does it really work? And does it really matter at the end? So that's those are always the questions that we're trying to figure out, right? I mean, but and just speak on that briefly. I mean, I know I went there, and I do sometimes because I'm a little philosophical, but
That's okay.
you know, uh, it's not easy. We're just trying. We're here, right? We're
Right.
just trying to figure it out. We got people, we got loved ones, you got kids, and what do we do? What do we do next? How do we mean something here as
You know,
while we're here?
life doesn't come with a manual. It doesn't. There's good in the world, there's bad in the world, and there's everything else in the world. And I try to have a clean heart and a good mission. And I always think of how would I like to be treated in this situation? How would I react in this situation? If this was me, how would I want somebody to help me? Because that's what I like. And I try to live that way, um, through compassion, through kindness. People forget how powerful the word thank you is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so old school. Like, if somebody does something nice for me, like what I think is over the top is, I'll usually send them like a nice edible arrangement because
Mm-hmm.
everybody likes fruit. And I like to do something unique. And I am that one to actually take stationery and write a thank you note as opposed to sending a text message. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I understand that's our new world. But like I said, I'm old school. When I get something written like that, it means, wow, this person took enough time to get stationery, pick out a card, write it down, go to the post office and mail it. That's time out of a person's life.
Mm-hmm.
And we live in a fast paced life where we are in a hurry to nowhere. Because,
To nowhere. Right.
right,
We're in a
like,
hurry for what?
right. Because at the end of the day, we all have the same destination. All of us, we all come in the same way.
Yeah.
It's like somebody once told me, you come in the world by yourself and you leave by yourself. Hopefully
Yeah.
you try to surround yourself with people that make this a good ride. And I am so fortunate. I've been just people, strangers come out of nowhere, especially, with the foundation, which I'm going to touch base on shortly.
Mm-hmm.
And people just come out and I get surrounded by people and I just meet somebody and I just feel like it's just an organic connection. And I feel like, wow, I feel like I've known you before. And sometimes they say past souls travel together. And I do believe that. And again, I'm not here to make anybody feel like you should choose one religion over the next. I don't. I'm just very spiritual. I wear, I got this in Israel. I don't know if you could see that. That's the eye.
Okay.
Some
Mm-hmm.
people call it the Hamsa, or some people call it the Eye of Fatima. And it's just good energy. And I try to I try to live the right way. Um, am I human? Do I make mistakes? Of course I do. Of course I do. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have done this, or you know, I shouldn't have scheduled to do an audition at 7:30. Maybe the flight could have been delayed. But what do you do?
Oh my goodness. So true. And
But
I'm just you gotta see it to believe it, but carry on,
right,
please.
human beings plan, but God decides. Period. And
Yeah.
that's just that. So,
Yeah.
um, I do want to spend some time on. Oh, why you asked me about the industry? I like the industry because some of the movies I've done, some of the productions I've done, I give everybody a blue ribbon, and I
Mm-hmm.
know that movie will be played many times in many places, and people are going to say, "Wow, what's that ribbon about?" Lamar Odom has this ribbon. Damian Feldman has
Wow.
a ribbon because I
Okay.
did celebrity boxing last month. If you remember, I actually
Yeah, the celebrity. I wish I had that flyer. See, we should have. If I'd have been thinking, and the show prep, my show prep could be so much better.
that's a
Um, that flyer. I remember seeing it online. I was just like, I didn't know if it was real or not. I'm like, what? You ready to get into like a wrestling match with some people? But what was it? Boxing or wrestling? I forget. It
boxing.
it was box. So you
It,
were in the ring like.
like I was legit, like jab, jab. Yeah, yeah. I had a
Oh my goodness.
Yuri. Big shout out to Yuri. Um, I've never boxed a day in my life, but I'm serious. I don't know why you're laughing at me.
I'm just,
I just knew I had to sign up for this. I'm like, this is good because it's a platform for exposure.
hmm
And I said, sure, sign me up. They're like, well, how long have you trained? And I was like, well, I was on the treadmill for 10 minutes before I got here. Does that count? They're like, no. I said,
not
well, my father was a boxer, which he was back home in Russia. My father was a boxer.
Okay.
And
Ah, you stole my thunder again. I forgot you were Russian. Ah, see, you're good. You're good. You've been in several interviews. I can
that's
tell.
so I saw that as platform to talk about that, and everybody had the blue ribbon, and I had these signs made.
Hmm.
Team Bella, can you see that? Yeah.
Sure
So
can.
that showed up. They had some of these, and on the back is the famous QR code. That if you actually scan this, it goes straight to my website, and the very first thing it asks you is, "Do you need police?" And if you do, the police are called. And I created this because a lot of the young ladies that are held, and young men that are held in situations they don't want to be in, they have these things called burn phones where they can receive calls, but they can't make them out. So I
Hmm.
found a way to use these guys' technology against them. And I was kind of proud of myself about that.
Good job.
So
Good job.
all like I said, all you got to do is scan this, go straight to my website, and I actually have T-shirts that the front. I'm wearing one. Oops, mom. I'm wearing one, and on the back is the QR code, and everybody that wears it is my champion of humanity. Hold on. Oops, sorry.
It's all good. Don't worry.
See,
It's a live show. These things happen.
yeah. Well, see, I see what happened was, um, I connected my phone to the Mophie, but I
Mhm.
forgot to turn it on. And then my little thing came on to low power mode, and I'm like, oh man. See, that's what I mean.
It's
So
all good. It's all good. This is why I do these shows. I mean, it's real time. The audience loves it. They're watching now. People are I can't even keep up because it's really important. Sometimes to just listen. You got to listen what you're doing. Information you put it out there. People have an opportunity to support you. They can. I mean, you have it all right there.
mm-hmm,
All they have to do is go to those respective locations.
mm-hmm,
They can find out more information. By the way, I'd like a shirt in an extra large, please.
I got
And you keep pushing, you keep pounding, you don't stop, you stay vigilant, you stay diligent, and you just you accomplish your goals. And at the end of the day, people you kind of force your way, and people say thank you, because a lot of times I notice, and I know I'm not, I guess I better bring myself back in the feed. I was just so occupied with you and everything I see, the founder. Today I take the pledge. you know um we have to do this in order to make people say, hey, I need to acknowledge this. Or because really, a lot of people don't care unless it affects them. Just let's just be serious about
that.
it. If it's and I want you to speak on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know this from just being, I mean, come on. You look around, I ain't worried about that. My kids are right here. I ain't worried about that. I don't know nobody that's been abducted. I don't know nobody that, is going through what this lady and her organization is spending so much time doing. Some people don't believe in it, that
That's
these things are even taking place. And, how do you feel about that? Like, is
well,
this something that you understand the same
well,
way I'm expressing it?
absolutely. And then when I show them a demonstration, I talked to a mom, and she's like, "There's no way my baby's going with you." I said, "Okay." I said, "I wish you were right, but I'm about to show you you're wrong." And then afterward, they come to me and they're like, "Wow." And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna go home, gonna punish him." And I said, "Don't you dare. This is an opportunity of improvement for you as a parent to learn the world they're in. And
Hmm.
this is an opportunity of improvement, not to let you know if your child is not listening. You want your child to understand the rules of a life that no longer exists. They no longer use like these big burly dudes. They don't. But they use women because women look harmless and women look like, and they'll approach you. The woman will approach your mom and your dad and formulate a conversation and say, "Oh yeah, I used to work with your mom. You were a baby. You don't remember me," because that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. It really is not. And when I give the lectures, I get so passionate. I'm only 5 foot fabulous. It's always the short ones that always got the big fire in them. So
Yeah.
I give these lectures and I show them. I said, "You don't think this is real? You don't think this affects this neighborhood?" After every single presentation, I always have a young lady come to me and say, "Can I call you?" And I said, "Sure." And she'll tell me her story all the time. Um, One of the lectures I was supposed to give, there's a young lady I'm working with, and I promise I will never talk about her name because I said I will never exploit you. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
be therapy for you to talk about your story. It's not my job to talk about your story. Whenever you want to bring it about, I said, because your story can help someone. I promise you. And she's promised to come with me to 2 shows, and she'll literally call me in the morning and she's like, I can't do it. No problem. I'm not going to push you because Lord knows you've been made to do things that you can't even imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I said, this is therapy for you. I speak with her once a week. I reach out to her. Like, hey,
Yeah.
how's it going? And first, when I met her, she didn't even want to talk to me. I said, we're just going to sit here. I want you to know that we're good. We're Gucci. Like, I know you
Mm-hmm.
don't trust anybody, and I don't want you to. That's normal response. I said,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not that. I'm not that person. I tell people there's a lot of things that they can look out for. Are you familiar with the Black Dot campaign?
I am not.
Okay.
You mentioned it briefly.
Guys, that's right. So
Yeah.
the Black Dot campaign started off with more of domestic violence, but now it's gaining traction. Um, if you ever see, because no normal human being, at least not that I know of, ever has a mole or anything on the inside of their palm. It just doesn't come like that.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody takes a dot, lipstick, eyeliner, pencil, and puts a dot in the middle of their hand,
Mm-hmm.
help. That is nonverbal form of communication that I need help.
Okay.
But if a person knows that, but if the community doesn't know what that means, message lost.
Yeah.
Also, if you go to a bar or a restaurant and you order an angel drink, the same thing. If you go to the bartender and you're like, "Can I get an angel drink, please?" And bartenders are trained on that. They will
They
call
know that. See,
they
that's
they do.
I never knew that, and I've worked in several bars and
Mhm.
restaurant establishments, and so this kind of information, where can one go to find out this kind of information, these code words? And Bobby had mentioned some of the code words and stuff like that. I mean, where can one go to find out how to acknowledge these code? Hear them and understand them when they take place, or even the whole black dot situation and all that.
I'm continuously updating my website, which my website is bellalevy.org. You can go on there, you can find out about a lot of things that I'm doing during the holidays, all the places I've been, um, the types of things I'm trying to do. I put together little bags for women, like usually some of the ladies that have been just recovered, they need something to feel like a woman again, like sanitary things and, tissues and nail polish. You'd be surprised what a little bit of lipstick to does for a girl.
Hmm.
um, as a matter of fact, I have to give a shout out to, it's so funny. I have to give a shout out to my business partner. His name is Victor Santiago. He is the Don Vick show. And I was talking to him earlier and I said, I'm nervous. And he was like, Bella, you'll be fine. And I'm like, I know, but it's still. And he said, are you going to go like that? And I'm like, yeah, I just got off work. I'm tired. He was like, girl, put some lipstick on.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Must
But yeah,
must be a close friend to be able to say something like that. I would have
his
never attempted that.
partner. And we traveled a lot together. So I was talking to him and he was like, girl, put some lipstick on. And I was like, you're right, you're right. But it's good to have a friend like that. They'll just tell
Yeah.
you how it is. So, but if you go on any website, I'm like I said, I'm always updating mine, and you look for, you know, like nonverbal communication for that. they'll tell you the different things. Bartenders are trained to hear angel drink. There's also another one. I can't remember the name of it. I should have wrote it down. Like when you need a cab or if you're in an Uber, there's a certain word that you say. And then the Uber drivers hypothetically should be trained to know that. Every single time I get on a plane, I always give everybody on the plane, well, not the people sitting there, because they already look at me like I'm coming in with all this luggage and suitcase. Long story, but the airline stewardesses, I always give them my business cards, and my goal, and I'm going to put it in the universe, is this QR code. I want this to be available on every plane. I want this available in every truck stop. I want this available in any place of a lot of transportation because you would be surprised how many people are trafficked through airplanes. I'm sorry, uh, airports, bus stations, taxi cabs, but they're either drugged or out of fear that they do exactly what they're told, and they're too scared to speak up. And they all have these phones. And can you imagine if you're in a desperate situation? We as human beings, we know that if we see a QR code, we have to scan it because there's some kind of information coming there. And what kind of a one of my girlfriends, her name is Diana, she said, "This is like a magic shirt." And I'm like, "A magic shirt?" She goes, "Yeah, you could scan it and you can get help." And the fact that she called my shirt magic, I was so honored by that. So that's one of my goals, is to get this everywhere, public transportation, everywhere, 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 just possible. And you show people um, how this works, and they go, "Wow." And then, of course, I have the shirts, and people walk around and they like it. And at the end of the day, people want to be part of something positive in a world that doesn't have too many role models, in a world that the world that we have today is not the world that we knew 20, 30 years ago. So to find that positivity, you want to hold on to it. And when I start speaking about why I do things and what measures I take, people really listen. And if I can get my kids to do that, we're good. But everybody else listens.
Yeah, well,
Get kids to listen, then that's the real story.
but this is what I noticed, and I'm glad you went there out of everything that you said, and I embraced it all. And then you even finished strong. If we can get our kids to listen. So there there's a certain inspirational value that we all exhibit to others in some way, shape, or form. Okay. Um, this is what I've noticed through my experience as being a father, a parent, and husband, things of that nature. Um, Certain things they're not meant to come that easy. It's supposed to be a process that does not allow us to obtain our goals too simply. It what it does is it enhances our abilities to adjust to situations. Um, I do this all the time, and I didn't know what was happening at first, but I realized that you become ambidextrous a little bit. You become really flexible. You know how to cover more. You don't rely on your first instincts all the time. Is the sometimes I used to I'm a coach. I'm a hard guy sometimes, so I can get loud or not necessarily loud because I'm a humble, laid back guy. But instead of getting loud or threatening to smack somebody's bottom or something like that, like I'll use other methods of communication
Right.
and try to get through a different way. And even still, that might not work. However, you averted your usual tactics, and that's what people they expect. Oh, I know how to get them going, or they know how to get you going, right?
Mm.
But if you prove that their attempts to get you riled up don't work, then now it's like, man, that didn't work. I didn't get mom kind of like, what's going on with mom today? That usually works, but
Right,
it didn't today. And this is I don't like to be predictable all the
right.
time. I'm always trying to show that no, I'm not letting you draw me in. It's not easy all the time because some of those triggers are real triggers. They're like, you almost you oh I got you. You almost had me,
This,
Bella. I swear to goodness.
this is what I tell my kids. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react. And that's the difference. 100%. And I said, having control over what you're thinking is power. And my son's like, but mom, I said, I understand. Just be the bigger person and just walk away. He's like, but mom, he shouldn't. I said, okay, I'm not taking his side. And when I tell my kids to walk away, they think I'm taking the other person's side. And I'm like, I'm not taking the other person's side. I'm teaching you to be a better human. Okay. And I tell them, I said, I don't, well, my friend does this and my friend does that. And I'm like, well, your friend does based on what their parents think is okay, which is fine. But in
Yeah,
my, we do this. And that's just the way it is. And I said, trust me, mastery of your emotions will take you far. I get
agreed.
myself. I understand it's hard for me to lecture that because when I um, meet somebody new and they talk to me about their experience, I really, like, I'm such an empath that I can feel it. And I just tell them, thank you for your story. And I said, you have no idea. This is going to help somebody. And it really does. Um, I work with an organization here. I stop by and I see them once a week. Just, hey, how you guys doing? Anybody need anything? No. Just thanks for checking up on us. And sometimes, like when I leave them, they're staring at a book, and when I come back, they're staring at a book, and that's okay. They're not ready. You're not ready to go back in the world. It's
Yeah,
okay. But I want you to believe in trust. I want you to trust people. I want you to know that what happened to you is horrible. I understand. I can't possibly understand. It's never happened to me,
hmm,
but I can only imagine. You know, yeah. I like listen. We're we're just gonna move forward, and
hmm,
like I said, the community has been so supportive, and not just here in my local community. And I don't know if you saw the video I posted up. I found this one song. It was made by 1 Million and Rising. The
hmm.
choreography was done by Debbie Allen. It's called Break the Chains. It's my favorite song. I listened to it and it
Absolutely.
stuck in my head. Um, so when I do my presentation, I walk out to that song because it gets people thinking. And when I went out to do my boxing, I walked out to that song as well. And when I finish every speech, I get everybody to stand up and they're looking at me and I'm like, no, I mean like you're sitting down, you're doing the opposite of what I told you. Stand up on your feet. And then I
Hmm.
said, raise your left hand and they repeat after me and we take the pledge. And I tell them, today I take the pledge and they repeat after me that today I take the pledge against human trafficking. I support Bella Levy with the Blue Ribbon Project and I will not allow this in my house, in my family, in my community, and in my world. And I said, I want you to leave today having a better understanding of what it is that you look for. And people call me all the time. They're like, oh my God, I attended your seminar. I heard you speak. And then I saw this. And I said, I only got 2 eyes. I could only be in one place sometimes. But I enable you guys to be like, that's why I wrote the back of this, my champions of humanity. We can be everywhere. And it's like how do you say in English? Is it a matchstick, right? Remember the old days when you took a matchstick, went
Yeah.
the candle? You could break one easy. You could break two easy. You could break three easy. But if you bundle it together, not so easy. And that's what I'm doing. I'm putting my army together. I have to give a big shout out to my director of marketing, Paris. He helped me put all this together. Like literally, it took us about 3 weeks to put everything together. And, I was like, well, I like this. And he's like, well, let's do this and let's do this. So big. thank you, Paris.
Thank you, Paris.
Yeah, he's great. Um, Also, I just want to, I don't know how much time I have. I would like to invite everybody to my event.
Mhm.
Um, January is the official Human Trafficking Month. So the last Saturday of January, which is January 29th, I am having what is called the Royal Blue Gala, and everybody gets to wear royal blue.
Nice.
And I am not having a red carpet. I'm having a royal blue carpet. Everybody's encouraged to wear royal blue. I want the room look like it was just blue, but um, very elegant, very classy. I'm working a big shout out to All for Him Catering. I met this young man and I asked him. I said, "The name of your catering company, All for Him. Like, tell me about that." And he said, he's a single father. And he said, everything I do is for my child. So everything I do is all for him. I said, me and you, we like this. That's it. I just fell in love with what he's trying to do. And he's done a event for me, and we just did really good. So when it came time for this, I called him up. He was like, I got you. I said, "Phew." It was your birthday weekend, but he rearranged his schedule to make sure that he was able to cater this event. So I appreciate that. So it'll be catered by him. I have lined up entertainment. And mind you, these are all my friends that I reached out to them and told them what I was doing, and they're all volunteering their time for charity. They all want to put on a fantastic show. I have Lavari, I have Jay Kwan, I have Jay Young. I'm going to be listing all the actors, I'm sorry, all the performances coming down. I also wanted to, if I may, to use this opportunity to say if there's an artist in the DMV area that wants an opportunity to perform, hit me up. I'll give you that opportunity. I promise. Because all of us need that one shot. All of us need somebody to believe in you. And I'm working on the run of show and I'm working on the format, and I have such a great show lined up. I can't wait for everybody to come out and just, have good food and have good entertainment. And I have a DJ, and then I have another DJ that's spinning salsa and merengue, and I'm just everything for everybody. I just want everybody to come there, have a good time, and understand why we are there. And again, I cannot thank my friends, people that believe in me, um, that just said, okay, what do we got to do? Like, Bella, what do we do? And I'm like, well, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. And I'm like, okay. They're like, don't worry about it. You're my girl. I'm doing it for the cause. I'm going to donate my time. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. It's like, I get a little emotional because I'm like,
It's okay. It's
you
okay. You're
know,
doing a fabulous job.
my
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
my
ahead. You're doing great.
my
Go.
board is all volunteer based. I have 5 board of directors, all volunteer based. Me and Paris talk to each other 4 or 5 times a day at least. Also, Alan is on my board, and he has this thing called Support Our Creatives, and he's great. David and Dr. Guathney and Shane Sparks. They're all part of my board, and I speak to them all the time. And for these people to give up their time to do things means so much to me. And to put this, it's not easy to put together something of this caliber. It's not. And I want to make sure that everything is done right. Like I was talking to the DJ earlier, and he was like, have all the artists email me their tracks. And I'm like, what's a track?
Well, we
Oh,
got
track.
a couple here. Just so you
Right.
know, when you go back and look at this feed, Linnea's putting a couple names up there. I'm pretty sure you can find them social media wise, as well. So when you get done, this is obviously this is online. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I want you to notice because as you're speaking, Linnea is throwing some names up there of artists that might be interested. So
I love
here's one here. and then I'll bring it back just so you can see it as you start viewing this feed
Okay.
again on your own time.
Okay.
7G Hefner, I'm sure you can find him.
Mm-hmm.
And this, we know, these are people that she works with, she believes in and trusts, and they have material that they might be interested. And also, while I uh, on the subject of it, how can people, let's say, maybe donate or because it seems like it's a nonprofit organization. So how can people donate to the cause of what you're doing? Is it bellalevy.org? Is there another method?
BellaLevy.org is the website. You can go on there. Please feel free. We have lots of information on there. There's a place that says make a donation or contact. Um,
Okay.
that is the best way to do that. I know some people don't do that. They prefer to do like either Venmo or Cash App, which is fine. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm just so honored that you want to do that. There's a way to send me an email on there, or they can get a hold
Sure.
of you or me. And if somebody's willing to make a donation, I would gladly accept it, and I'll find a way how to facilitate that. And
Sure.
everybody that always makes a donation, I always make it a point to give them a shout out. Always, always, always. Like I
Yeah.
said, the word thank you is so
It's
powerful.
powerful. It is.
Right. And it's very underused and it's so easy. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know what the problem is with that thank you anymore. I don't hear it that often. I use it quite frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of people, for some reason, like a little reluctant these days. I don't know what that's all about, but that's a for another whole conversation for another show. But
Mm-hmm.
I do want to try to yeah, and the
Yeah.
comments were coming in, and I just couldn't. Again, we can go back. I just want to thank everybody that's been watching this feed. Fabulous guests. Numbers have been strong. It feels good. I told you the show picks up steam as it goes.
Okay.
You are a great guest. I mean, you're just astounding in everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Really, really powerful entity. Even my colleague and good buddy from work, Dylan Hurst, says thank you, Derek. So he's thanking me for having you. So it's so go you there you go. And this is somebody who I'm quite close to as well. So that's powerful in itself. And no problem, Dylan, man. We are here. This is what we do. You know it, brother. Um, and you're welcome. And I want to thank Bella, and I'd love to keep her on all night, but I can see she's picking up steam. She we started the pre-show talking about how tired she is, and you can't tell, right? So I'm
You
not
guys
going to
are talking about I
keep her
love.
much.
So yeah. You
Yes, and Linnea also says thank you, Bella. So you have touched people this evening. I'm going to have to get you back for another show.
well
It,
don't threaten me with a good time. Let's do
And we got some things coming up. We start filming for the production that you're in, called Running Laws, on January 7th. So that's only what a couple days away. So get ready for that. Um,
it.
Bobby says thanks as well,
Mm-hmm.
um, and, and thanks Derek and Bella. Another great show. Thank you, Bobby, for tuning
Thank
in
you.
2 days in a row in the same week. Well,
Mhm.
that's how you. That's kind of like a double
Yeah.
negative, right? 2 days in a row, same week, same thing. Anyway, thanks, Bob, for tuning in. And while I got you, I didn't get a chance to. I always ask a special question. I'm always trying to pry a little bit, and just to see how much people want to speak their mind. In this case, I'm asking a simple question of your native language. You're Russian,
Yes.
but you have no accent that I can detect. Can you say something to the audience in
Would you
Russian?
like for me to speak Russian? You feel better, no? Actually, I just did a movie, a human trafficking movie, where my character was Natasha, and she was involved in this rink, and yeah, so it was good for me to act tough. And they're like, well, you sound like you're screaming. I'm like, no, it's just a tough language. Like French sounds like silk, Russian
Yeah,
sounds like "Rrr, rrr, rrr, rrr." It's just a tough language. It's just we roll our r's, and like
right.
Spanish is like sexy, and French is like smooth. But Russians like, why do you sound like you're chopping wood? I'm like, because it's cold. That's what we do. We chop wood.
Well, look, I don't want to keep you much longer because I can have you all night, and I am going to close the show. But before I close, I want to thank you again. I'm just going to give a shout out to our chat room because I appreciate everybody, not
Thank
only in the chat room, but I appreciate everybody who watches these shows live. Okay, which means you take out the time. It's 9 p.m. real time Eastern Standard Time. And I love you all out there that do this because you could be doing anything. I appreciate you all for watching and appreciating my guest who I care about. That's why she's on here. We will be doing a lot of other exciting things in the future, interaction as far as movies and other productions that she will be involved in. So thank you all for caring about her foundation. And if you're interested in supporting or this has hit home for you or has some kind of relative nature that you can embrace, the website is scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. It's very simple. You probably, I think nowadays you don't even need to punch in www anymore. You punch in bellalevy.org, the site will come up, and I'm really grateful. And before we go, and shut this particular broadcast down. Bobby, thank you for joining. Buzzacino, glad to have you back on YouTube, coming from YouTube. Dylan Hurst, the list goes on. I'm sorry if I miss you. Mike Davis, my good buddy, my brother. Everybody appreciate you all for tuning in. Cooling, refrigeration, and heating. If you need some good HVAC work called Cooling, Refrigeration, and Heating. They do a phenomenal job. I know those guys quite well. Again, Buzzacino was coming in from Essex, England.
you.
So thank you for tuning in, Buzzacino, with all your positive words and everything.
Thank you.
You are the man. Keep watching the show. I appreciate you.
And
And
before I forget, I'm so sorry.
sure, no, go ahead.
I'm so happy that everybody is interacting and asking me about the gala. We have a couple of vendor spots available. There's going to be a lot of people in the building, especially if you're trying to get it into the industry. I have a tattoo artist that confirmed earlier. I really like what he's doing. Just to get to know this guy about why he does what he does is just amazing. I don't have the list in front of me. I'm sorry, but I just remember him because I spoke to him earlier today, and everybody that I have a relationship with, I'm like, I always ask him, why do you do what you do? You know. And when he told me his story, I was like, oh my god, we're gonna be besties. And he really is a good guy. I have one of my sister queens called, and she said she wants a table, and then let me see a couple of other ladies coming in, and I just want to make sure I still have enough vending tables left. So tickets go on sale tomorrow. If you would like a vendor table, please, please, please get ahead of the game, because with everything, the facility we're having it in, they're trying to keep numbers down, and it is what it is. We're living in our new norm, whatever that is. But um, like I said, it's going to be a great networking opportunity, and I'm sure we all understand in our industry. They say teamworks make dream works, and I agree. But networks makes the dream works even better, because you got to get out to the people. You got to get your name out. You have to take a chance and just say, let me go out and bring. This is what I tell some of the models I used to work with. I said, bring your headshots, bring your business cards, and bring your personality. You start talking to people, and maybe they may not pick you for a certain project, but then when another project comes up, they're like, you know what, I met that girl somewhere, and she'd be perfect.
Mhm.
So this is your time. I like to put my hand to projects that's a win-win for everybody. So this would be a great, great networking opportunity. Like I said, Damian Feldman is going to be there from Celebrity Boxing. He says he's going to bring some of his celebrity friends, and I'm so excited. I don't know who they are,
Oh
but
my God.
yay! And a couple other local movie directors and producers, and everybody's always looking for talent. And working with June DeGasio, he wrote a movie that's a trilogy, which is the human trafficking movie that we did, and he's actually doing. It's a huge casting call for the third segment because if you don't get killed in the first one, you don't get killed in the second one. You get to the
Yeah.
third, but usually people get killed because that's how it
Yeah.
works. So it's going to be a huge casting call. Victor Santiago, who's going to be he lives in Boston. That's where his show is. He's coming down the Don Vick show, and he has a lot of connections with a lot of other people. So come on out, and I want to create an opportunity for people to discover what their path is, and all in the same time while we're helping each other. We can help a stranger halfway across the world. We don't even know who they are. That's why I'm doing that. The main big reason I want to open up a safe haven here in Maryland. In my mind, I already have an idea what it's going to look like. We're going to have the tree of life in there, and anybody that ever makes a donation, their name is going to be a little leaf that's going to be on the tree of life. Again, I want to create something that when I'm long gone, it's still there. Um, the safe haven, I'm going to employ only victims, because when a new person is coming in, the only person that can understand them is somebody that's been, um, what do you say? He likes my hat. Oh my God, thank you.
Yeah, Dylan. I was waiting for you to see it. So,
It ends
Dylan.
up
He's the
laying on my
first
foot,
person all night that commented on your hat. So
but
it actually it finally got you, Dylan.
it's
Dylan,
okay.
good
I feel
job there, bro. Yeah,
but I want
but
to
go ahead.
employ only former victims, because when there's a new intake coming in, who can understand what that skin feels like than somebody that's walked in their shoes? Like, I know
Sure.
when I'm having a bad day and I'm like, well, this, and somebody says, well, I know what that feels like. I mean, do you really? No,
Right.
you
Nah,
don't.
not
So
unless you experience.
this safe haven is going to be one of its own kind. It's going to serve as a place of hope, healing, recovery. We're going to get them jobs. We're going to get them gainfully employed. We're going to get them a place to sleep. We're going to get them safe. And I can't help the ones that are no longer here with us,
Yeah.
but the ones that are here, not we can all help them. And that's what it's all about. And I want to put together this excuse me.
It's
I want to
okay.
put together this event to have the community come together, because you'd be surprised what a difference a community can make. Like, some of these people that I'm having, some of them are flying in just
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, I still can't wrap, but okay, but I'm grateful, and I'm happy. And this is what I always hear. They're like, Bella, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever it is, I want part of it, because whatever you do, we always have a lot of fun. And I'm like, thank you. I I try to be that way. I try to talk, regular way. And my kids always say, if you hold my hand still, I'll be quiet because I talk too much. But um, again, if you want to support, go to my website, bellalevy.org, and we have a big gala coming up because January is Human Trafficking Month. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. So when you go on to the bellalevy.org, you should see everything there. Please come on out, support, try to see what I'm really trying to do. I am really trying to make a difference just in our world. But at the same token, I want to create a platform to make a difference for all of us too. Because, and I'm sure you can agree with me, sometimes making a connection is a big difference. And I know I've met people throughout my life, and I've connected with them, and I'm still friends with them. Years and years go by. I'm not going to tell you much, but it's that connection you make, and then somebody will give you a call, especially if you're in our industry, and they're like, I'm working on a project. Just give them a call, and that's how it works, and that's how it should work. And I just want to bring the community back together. I want everybody to be responsible for themselves and their neighbor. I want somebody to feel like, it's if I see something that's not right, I want it. That's okay. Sorry, got a little ahead. I want to empower the public to make them feel it's okay if you see something that doesn't look right. It's okay to pick up that phone and call somebody. I want you to empower you. I really, really do.
And oh my gosh, so touching. I'm trying not. I see you getting choked up, and you getting me over here choked up, and all for good. Yeah, I'm just, I'm always trying to pick people up, back up, just like you are. I, I feel it. Everybody has felt it. You be strong. You don't give up. We're going to continue to help as we've been doing. We're going to get you back on. I want to talk more about that in the future, but I do want you to understand that you are a very special person, and we are acknowledging you for what you do. So
Thank
I'm personally, and the audience has felt the same way. The people who already know you know what you're doing. They know how important this is to you. The comments don't want to stop, but I know we got to get off of here. This is it's good to always finish strong like this, because hopefully with this momentum, we can. I don't know. Let's try to let me
you,
bring it back.
Bella.
Let's try to do something with it. Let's
Mhm.
keep fighting. Let's keep pushing forward,
Mhm.
so people understand that we're not going anywhere. We're not going to stop our causes. That's why
No.
I do these shows. This is a back to back show. I could be doing anything downstairs with my wife and daughter, but sometimes you could be with your kids. You got to take the time out if you care, and do these type of things to reach out to others, because all it takes is one. You never know. You could be helping somebody watching this feed, and they're saying, I'm going to reach out to
Yeah.
that organization because I'm going through it. So I
Mhm.
just want to thank you again for your time, Bella, and I will see you soon. We will, obviously be in touch. You'll be getting your script soon. Rehearsals will be getting started here soon, and some of it will take place via things like this, um, Zoom meetings and things of that nature. So because it is new era, sometimes we can't all be in the same location at the same time. So we will continue to press these matters of importance as well, while we're so-called having fun, if
Right.
that makes sense to you. So thank you again for your time. I
I want to
appreciate
say
you.
thank you for being socially conscious.
Oh
And
yeah.
I wanted to wish you and all your viewers happy holiday and
Happy holidays, everybody.
hope that
Merry
I
Christmas.
can't believe 2022 is already here. And I
Yeah.
just hope that 2022 is good to all of us.
Yeah, and this has been a rough year. It's finishing not so great. I've been getting some bad news. I know you said some bad news happened. I probably got, this is no kidding, 3 or 4 phone calls today of some tragedies that have happened, and it's just I don't know. I don't know. I know it's a cycle of life. We were talking about it,
Right,
but it doesn't make it any easier to deal
right,
with. So I
right.
just want everybody to be strong out there, and just understand that there are other people out there that you can put your head on, as comfort, and people you can confide in that really care
Absolutely.
about what's
Absolutely.
happening to you. Yeah, and it might not be the people that you think you need to go to first. And unfortunately, that is just a fact of life. And just understand. And this is what her foundation is about. They're not family. There's no bloodline connections or anything like that, but they will treat you like family. So
Absolutely.
um, and thank you again. And Buzzachino says Merry Christmas, and you, my lady, have a fabulous night. Thank you for your time,
Thank you.
and I will be in touch with you really soon. Okay,
Absolutely.
and share this. That way, everybody that's seen it, they can read. This will be one of the most classic Speak Your Mind show, and I'm being serious with you. I'll throw a little joke, a little snarkle here or there about something that's just fun, and I'm just to lighten the mood. But the information you shared tonight will be timeless for this show. So continue to share it. and I'll do the same. And that way, people can have the opportunity to review what happened, and if they need some help, they know exactly where to go because guess what? It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen
Mhm.
right now.
Or
So
they do, and you could always get them in contact with me.
and I'm here, and they know I get calls from my kids. I coach all the time. People who know me, it's an endless cycle that I'm very welcome to be right in the middle of. So we're going to continue to do what we do to help and support, and let's see, we maybe 2022 can be a little bit better for us and for everybody, but
I,
we won't know until
I
we
have.
get there.
That's
So
right. I have
you have a fabulous night. Thank you for your time again. Please
you.
be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Call me if you need me.
I will
All right.
absolutely. All right.
Good
All right.
night.
Everything. Bye bye.
See ya. Bye bye. Oh my goodness, so touching. It's just so touching the way she just impacted me so hard. Like I don't know. Shows like that could be a little tough for me, only because I'm the same way. I feel people. I like to. I don't know. Y'all know me. I mean, a couple people watching this show, they know I'm not playing. This means something to me. I don't just do this just for nothing. I'm not getting paid for the show. You see my eyes watering a little bit. Like I mean this. I care just like other people care, and the only one way to show it is to do it. Because all the talking all the time, it only goes but so far. It only goes but so far, and then all of a sudden it's out the window and everything you said just was in vain because you didn't do anything. So that's where I'm at with it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everybody for watching the show. I'm trying to pick myself back up. It wasn't easy having Bella on. She's just, oh man, so compelling what she's doing and traveling the country to do these things. So take the time out, be kind to somebody this time of year. Sometimes I feel I'm not always in the holiday spirit, but this year I've been trying to be different and just try to personify something a little better for people to say, hey, I can be in the spirit, I can be nice, I can, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm nice, but certain people are really jovial, you know what I mean? And I'm not always that guy, but um, I'm trying to better myself, and I think we all are out there trying to do the same. We just want to be the best versions of ourselves as we can be. So, as Buzzachino says, um, Merry Christmas to all, and to all, have a good night. So, good night, you all. I'll see you all next Wednesday. See ya.